This is the cutest kitten ever. Yes, let's get some views on the video. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Paterson. Welcome back to a new video. Today I'm doing what was requested, which is what's on my iPad. So you guys wanted to know what was on my iPad. I put out a Twitter thing and you guys really wanted to know what was on there. So I'm going to tell you today. So the first thing that's different is that the software in this is iPad OS. So it's the beta version as it's not out yet. I've got some apps in here that I can't show you because I'm not allowed to yet because they're in beta still at this moment in time. But what I'm going to show you is all the rest of it on here. So the first thing that I've got are sort of the standard, the Procreate app. Now, this is where I do all of my drawing. You can see sort of like here, I've got like this sort of cool relax drawing here where I did it for the 30 days of Bible lettering on my YouTube channel. There's actually a tutorial of how I get this sort of effect on all of my lettering when I'm doing it on the iPad. It works without an iPad, you can do it in Photoshop, but I love using Procreate for this. So this is where I basically do all of my drawing as of now. I've got other apps in here that I like to use as well. There's a few other ones that I will show you during this. So let's go into the next one, which is Notability. Now, Notability is amazing for any designer. So for instance, I've got notes here, which is like 5 mind-blowing poster design tips where I basically take notes on all of my videos. So this is a really great way of easily taking notes. And the great thing about Notability is that it's got these quick shape features now where you can like quickly make a shape like that. You can edit it, you can like do straight lines, but then you can also, when you're actually drawing or writing, write really nicely on the iPad. Now, my handwriting is actually awful, and that's just because I am not a very good writer. I do calligraphy and stuff, but my handwriting is awful on this. But the great thing about Notability is that I can take notes about videos, I can take notes about anything else, and then it actually goes to my MacBook as well, because there's a Notability Mac app as well. So I can take this and put it on my Mac, and I can have all my sketches, all my highlights and stuff. I'll show you some more examples, like this one here. It probably works better when I turn it this way. So you can really see the app working better when it's in this sort of formation here, because you can see all my little like boxes. You can journal in this, you can write, you can highlight, you can add shapes. And probably my favorite thing is that you can select something and move it very easily around, so everything stays like really organized. Also, another cool thing about Notability, which is one of the reasons why I use this app, is that when I'm writing, so if I just write the word, let's say writing on here, even in my horrible handwriting, if I was to go and select this and convert to text, it will actually get the text completely right most of the time. As you can sort of see there, it's completely right writing, and you can do this, you can copy it, you can convert this selection into what you've just drawn down. But not only that, you can change like the layout of everything on the paper as well. So you've got like, I don't know, your actual grids here. So you can change this to like dot grids. I think there's a dot grid, yeah, dot grid, graph, you know, there's so many different styles, but I always use, you know, this very small line grid version. Obviously, I've got an app called Adobe Spark. Now, I probably can't show you all of my emails on here, so I'm going to have to blank these out, but Spark is a really cool app, and I don't want to go too far into my app because you guys can see some sensitive information. But the cool thing about Spark is that it runs on my MacBook, my iPhone, and my iPad, and it also connects to my team. So by that, I mean, if I was to write an email, it's got my signature that I normally use if you've ever emailed me. I can actually add people into the conversation. So for instance, I've got this YouTuber feed thing here, and it's just like an email list for YouTubers. I don't know how they got my information, but I can press this little icon up at the top, and this will actually allow me to delegate or share the conversation with someone else in my business. And this is a really cool way of me and Naomi, who's my wife, but also does a lot of my admin stuff, to keep in contact on work related issues straight in the email app. There's loads of features with this as well, which is very cool. You can have it for your whole team or your business. Another cool app that I can show you is ArtSet, which is really cool. You can see I've not haven't opened it in a while, but you might be freaking out and going, what the heck is this? What is all this like paint and stuff? Well, this paint stuff is actually me, and this is my sort of drawing on here. Basically a traditional art set on here. If I can find my instrument of choice, which is like a palette knife, because I do like to do palette work. You can see here the palette knife works really, really nicely. If I can zoom in for you guys, I can show you a bit better as to what it can do. You can see you get a lot of really cool textures in here, and you can change the colors, you can change the load and the size of everything, but it mixes really well inside of the app. Now, this is probably like not what you guys are looking for, but I love to do some abstract paintings if you know me. Let's just get rid of some of that load there, the flow, change the color. As you can see here, you can create really cool paintings, and I love abstract paintings. I do it for real in real life, but this app allows me to really mix in my colors, and it does mix them in really well and allows you to customize everything that you're doing, and it gives you that cool paint effect there as well. Another cool app that I use a lot is MindNode, and you guys have seen this before on my channel. Now, what MindNode does is it's kind of a bit of a spooky one for people who don't understand it. So I'm going to just literally do a mind map on here. So I'm just going to say, you know, YouTube, as we're on YouTube right now. And on here, I can create different sort of ideas on brainstorms. Am I allowed to call it brainstorms? Not too sure, but basically brainstorms. So videos, you know, music, I can create all these different things on here. And then when I'm on video, you know, I could like, you know, add something to the end of video, which could be, you know, color for the video, create another one in the subsection, and you'll have yourself a very like huge like mind map going on. And I've got this MindNode here for a video that I'm working on. You can see here of all the different apps that I use, and this is how I come up with my video content, which is basically 10 best creative apps on the iPad Pro. And then I've got all these, you know, points here, which is the separate. So I've got all these points here. So like ArtSet, you know, Premiere Rush, Vectornator, Beatmaker 3, all this. And then I can actually talk a bit more about it. So it's a really visual way of organizing my train of thought. I've also got Affinity Designer, but I don't use it too often because I'm always using Photoshop. That's just my sort of software of choice. But if I only had my iPad or my MacBook, then I would be using Affinity Designer. But for anyone who doesn't know what it is, it's basically a vector and Photoshop. So it's Illustrator and Photoshop on the iPad. And if you don't know what Affinity is a company that are really doing well in the design scene. You can create some amazingly cool illustrations in here. You've got the pen tool, you've got a lot of the tools that you need to create cool work. I've also got something called Readly, which is like my magazines. I like to read magazines and stuff, and this allows me to subscribe to them. I've also got LumaFusion for video editing. So Luma is a really cool app if you're someone who wants to get into YouTube and you want an iPad, or you want to take some videos of yourself drawing on your iPad. You can put all your videos in here. I haven't actually used it yet because I was going to do a video about me only using the iPad for this, but it turned out I couldn't use it because I haven't done the video yet. I've got Adobe Fresco, but I'm not allowed to show you guys that just yet. I've got GoodNotes as well, which is very similar to Notability. It's actually one of the competitors of Notability, and it's got some good things inside of here of what you can do. You can write different things. It does the same thing as Notability. I don't think it's any different. Some people prefer Notability. Some people prefer this. I just prefer Notability. Another app that I use quite often actually is Vectornator, and you can see here I've used it quite a bit. Vectornator is an amazingly cool app for anyone who does vector design work, and it's completely free. And the reason why I love Vectornator a lot is because you can vectorize points like this. So you can actually vectorize lettering and logo type designs and create logos and do everything you need to on this app. And it's completely free as well, and you don't need a PC for it. And when the new Mac software comes out, you can use this on the Mac, which is like insane to me. I was gonna get these little shrub things. I'll be back in a sec. It makes my set look nicer. So again, Vectornator isn't a great app for anyone who's wanting to do hand lettering, logo design, or whatever on the iPad. Another app that I use is Masterclass, and I use this for, like, you know, the Gordon Ramsay stuff that they've got on here. I haven't got anything else basically on this apart from Gordon Ramsay's cooking stuff, because I need to do better at cooking. And I've got a lot of the generic apps as well. I've got things like, you know, these Slate apps, and this is for the course that I take. So if I wanted to, you know, have a clap slate, I can put all my information in here, which is what I do with the timing and the audio files and stuff, and I can just do this. And what that does is it gives me a slate to work on for when I'm doing a video, and it's free. Beatmaker 3, if anyone doesn't know, I'm a huge fan of like making music. This app allows me to create samples, and it's basically like my Machine MK3 but on my iPad, and I can create anything, any sort of sounds that I like through this using keyboards and different plugins. I've got Premiere Rush, which is great for videos, Twitch just to watch people whilst they're doing whatever they're doing, YouTube obviously, 1Password, Spotify, and a few games like Reddit, Adobe Fresco, Test Flight. I've got Paper and Sketchbook. I don't really use these too often. I mean, they're pretty good for drawing as like a little journal or whatever. I know a lot of people like to draw in this because it's got a cool like feel, but I'm not personally the one for this app. So guys, those are the apps that I use on my iPad Pro. I hope this helped. Most of them are free, in fact, apart from a couple of them. I really use my iPad Pro for one main thing, and that is for content creation. A lot of people used to think the iPad was great for consuming content, but now it's actually the master at creating content. If you enjoyed this video, then please press that red subscribe button down below. There should be a link here. And also remember to join if you want to support the channel a bit more than just subscribing and sharing. Follow me on social media. If you like the video, press that like button. If you hated the video, press the dislike button twice, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See you soon. Goodbye.